I don't know how else to say this, but the Minnesota Vikings officially signed running back Jordan Mims as veterans report to camp. While it is a low-cost move, it brings fresh competition to a position that desperately needs reliable depth behind Aaron Jones and Jordan Mason. This signing is intriguing because it balances immediate roster security with a potential long-term play for the future. There are two angles to break down: the immediate impact on the depth chart and what this means for our rotation. Let's dive in and smash that like button. The Minnesota Vikings have officially strengthened their backfield depth by signing running back Jordan Mims as veterans report to training camp. While Mims is a new face in Minneapolis, he enters a room headlined by starter Aaron Jones and the reliable Jordan Mason, who anchored our ground game last year with 758 yards and 6 touchdowns. Mims brings a unique profile to the roster as a 6-foot, 205-pound runner known for his agility and ability to protect the football, having recorded 0 fumbles throughout his professional career. His addition serves as a low-cost insurance policy for general manager Nolan Teasley, providing much-needed experience after we navigated various injury setbacks during the previous campaign. While fans might remember his productive 3-game stretch with the Saints where he averaged over 5 yards per carry, the immediate reaction among the faithful is one of cautious optimism regarding our roster stability. The bottom line here is that Mims is primarily competing for a special teams role or a reserve spot against younger players like Demon Claiborne and Xavier Scott, rather than threatening the current hierarchy. We understand this move is about building depth for a rigorous season, yet it raises significant questions about our long-term strategy at the position. With Jones having accepted a pay cut to stay, we must now consider whether the front office is already scouting for a post-2026 future, or if Mims possesses a hidden talent that could force Kevin O'Connell to rethink his current rotations. If the coaching staff plans to utilize Mims in unexpected ways, it leaves us wondering which specific offensive package will actually feature him during the first preseason test. The most pressing concern regarding this signing is why Minnesota felt compelled to address running back depth during the very week veterans reported to camp. This move stems from a lingering anxiety over availability, specifically because Aaron Jones missed 5 games last season and Jordan Mason sat out an additional game. While the Vikings secured Jones on a pay cut to return for the 2026 season, the front office is clearly prioritizing insurance policies to protect against attrition. And I'll be straight with you, the decision to bring in Jordan Mims is a calculated gamble on a player who, despite his lack of flashy speed, showed real promise by averaging at least 5 yards per carry in 3 games for the Saints last season. We have seen this strategy before under general manager Nolan Teasley, who consistently values roster stability over relying on pure potential from unproven rookies. Behind closed doors, head coach Kevin O'Connell is likely looking for a reliable, mistake-free presence who can contribute on special teams while offering a safe pair of hands should the starter or backup go down again. Mims has the distinction of having 0 fumbles since entering the league, a trait that surely appeals to a coaching staff looking for reliability. With rookie contributors Demon Claiborne and Xavier Scott also fighting for their professional lives, the addition of a veteran with proven production provides a necessary baseline for the entire unit. We should expect the team to keep a close eye on his development throughout the summer as they balance current roster needs with the long-term goal of identifying who will carry the load in the backfield once the current contracts expire. Moving from the raw headlines to the deeper implications, we have to look at what this roster move reveals about the front office strategy. The part fans are not ready for is the reality that our running back room still carries significant uncertainty. This matters right now because general manager Nolan Teasley is clearly prioritizing insurance policies to protect a team that saw injuries disrupt the backfield last year. Adding Jordan Mims provides a low-cost, experienced body who offers big playability and versatility on special teams, which is vital for a team aiming to survive the long NFL grind. While Jordan Mason remains the definitive number 2 option after his productive season of 758 yards and 6 touchdowns, the signing puts rookie players like Demon Claiborne and Xavier Scott on notice as they fight for their professional lives in camp. This move stabilizes the bottom of the depth chart, ensuring we are not left scrambling if Aaron Jones misses time, much like he did for 5 games during the previous season. Looking ahead, this depth becomes a deciding factor in tight division matchups against the Bears and the Packers, where late game clock management and fresh legs define the difference between a win and a loss. By fortifying these rotational roles, we are building the kind of resilient roster needed to secure a playoff spot and stay competitive deep into the winter months. While Mims might not be a household name, he is a calculated addition that helps keep our championship aspirations alive by minimizing the drop-off in production when our veteran starters inevitably need a breather during those crucial fourth-quarter drives. The logic behind signing Jordan Mims is rooted in the necessity of organizational depth, as Vikings general manager Nolan Teasley is clearly prioritizing insurance against injury. After Aaron Jones missed 5 games last season and Jordan Mason was sidelined for another, adding a player with Mims' agility provides a cheap, low-risk buffer. Mims offers an intriguing profile because he has not fumbled once since entering the league, and his ability to change direction without needing breakaway speed suggests he could excel in niche roles or special teams. Think about it this way: having a reliable backup who can step in without costing the team significant salary cap space is exactly the kind of move that keeps a playoff push alive through the long grind of December. However, the downside here is equally apparent because the current running back room is already crowded with young talent like Damon Claiborne and Xavier Scott. These two youngsters are now facing an uphill battle for their roster spots, which could inadvertently stunt the development of players the team has already invested in. While USA Today Sports reports that Mims has showcased big playability with 5 yards per carry averages, it remains a steep climb for him to displace established contributors on offense. The way I see it, some of the chatter regarding Mims potentially stealing touches from Jordan Mason feels like unnecessary alarmism. Mason is clearly the primary option behind Jones, and Mims is simply here to push the rookies during camp. While depth is vital, I personally believe the panic surrounding the backfield pecking order is overblown, as Mims is ultimately a depth piece rather than a game changer for our offensive scheme. When we combine these roster moves with the long-term vision of this franchise, a clear strategy for the Minnesota Vikings begins to take shape. General Manager Nolan Teasley is clearly focused on building a durable foundation, prioritizing depth behind key veterans to insulate the roster against the inevitable attrition of an NFL campaign. Here's the thing nobody wants to say. While our excitement often centers on the starters, the true measure of a successful season is how the team performs when those secondary options are forced into the light. The decision to bring in Jordan Mims gives us a low-risk, high-experience asset to compete with younger players like Damon Claiborne and Xavier Scott, ensuring that the backfield remains competitive, even if injury luck turns against us. You should feel confident heading into this season because this front office is finally taking a disciplined, proactive approach to roster construction rather than simply reacting to emergencies as they happen. By maintaining a solid rotation, we are protecting the overall health of our offense for the long haul. This move also signals that while we are committed to Aaron Jones for the present, the organization is already scouting the landscape to ensure that the transition to the future will be seamless whenever that time arrives. It is a mature, calculated path for a team that refuses to be caught off guard. With Jordan Mims now in the mix, do you think he will earn a spot on the final 53-man roster over our younger depth players? If you enjoyed the video, do not forget to like it and subscribe to the channel Skol. I'll see you in the next one.